A young couple who are first-time homebuyers apply for a loan. They believe the loan has a fixed interest rate, and the mortgage banker issues a loan with an adjustable interest rate. What is this called? This is a really good question because you're probably going to get a question in one way, shape, or form on all of these terms: redlining, blockbusting, steering, and predatory lending. So a lot of times you're going to see answers where you've never seen the word before, or we can just throw that out because those words probably don't exist. And then sometimes you got all four choices of words that you've heard before and are probably going to be tested on. So this is a really good question to determine what you understand versus the question that's being asked and the term that's being given. So kind of let's look at some of these as well. Redlining is a practice. It originated many years ago, I think out of Chicago, but it was a mortgage lending practice. And mortgage lenders quite literally had maps of the city of Chicago on the wall, and they would outline in red pen predominantly African-American neighborhoods, and they would not offer any loans within that particular area. And it didn't matter what the financial qualifications were. Obviously, that is illegal. It has since gotten the term redlining, and we need to know that. Blockbusting. Blockbusting is persuading someone to move based on an element perhaps moving into the neighborhood, right? And so ultimately, it would be you sending out a flyer or knocking on doors and say, hey, the demographics of this area are changing. Why don't you sell now? We can get you the highest property value. Again, that is an illegal practice and not to be done as well. Steering has to deal with steering buyers toward a particular area based on its racial makeup, national origin, that sort of thing as well. And what's an important point to realize here is buyers should have the ability to see any property that meets their qualifications. You as a real estate agent don't get to decide where buyers should look. The buyer gets to decide where the buyer wants to look. And so if you as the real estate agent are deciding what areas of town or what properties a buyer sees, that could be potential steering, where ultimately the buyer gives you the qualifications and then you say, hey, these are all the properties that are available to you that meet your qualifications, whether it be bedrooms, bathrooms, could be location, price points, all those things. Say, hey, these are all the properties that are available. And then the buyer gets to choose which ones that they want to explore further, maybe go see, perhaps make an offer on. So steering is an important concept for you to understand. It's not up to you. The buyer gets to make those decisions, not the real estate agent there as well. And then predatory lending is kind of where the nature of our question comes in as well. Predatory lending is the practice of essentially misguiding the borrowers. The borrowers think that they're signing one document or it's portrayed to them in one way when in fact it isn't. So maybe a lender says, yes, this is a fixed rate mortgage, and in turn it's an adjustable rate mortgage. Or this is an interest rate that's going to stay the same and at some point the interest rate is tied to some economic indicator and it's going to rise at some point in time. And so again, we kind of need to know the difference. As I said, you're going to be asked a question pretty much on every single one of these, if not every single one, most of them. So we do need to understand the differences in what they are. So going back to our question, now that we know the definition of all four of these, what do we have? A young couple who are first-time home buyers apply for a loan. They believe the loan is a fixed interest rate. The mortgage banker issues a loan with an adjustable rate. As we've said, that's going to be predatory lending.